If you've ever been sad that it's Friday because you want the market to stay open, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Folks, welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. Happy Friday. We got earnings out of the way here. Meta's absolutely ripping to blue skies. What's going on? We're going to break it down. We got 13 in the back, and we have a special guest lined up for today.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, people, happy Friday. We are back at it. Great to see a whole bunch of returning faces. Let me bring on my main man, 13. Joe, how you doing here today?
Doing all right. How is everybody out there? Having a hard time trying to find something I want to trade, but I know we'll find it, guys.
We will absolutely find it, and I'm sure as the market opens and the day shakes out, we will find something else. My office assistant is locked in behind me. We are ready to roll. Hello, Lynn. Good morning, Becca, Market Sniper, Jonathan, Jay Wild, Jay Summers, Jay Harris, Smoke Tuna, EKS. It is indeed showtime. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So we had a big slate of earnings yesterday. Apple, Meta, Amazon, all reporting after hours here. SPY up yesterday after hours. Now it did come back in a little, but it's still positive, pretty much bounced off of the closing price yesterday. So we'll see what happens here today. Some of the other stocks that reported obviously still holding their gains. So Apple still down, Amazon still up. Meta up bigly. Meta, of course, announcing a dividend, which caused that stock to rocket. So lots of stuff affecting the SPY here. 13, do you have any outlook on where we're going here on the SPY today?
Well, let me take a quick look here because I was watching it as the job numbers came out. We got a bit of a drop. Looks like we went further down. Those employment numbers, they're much higher than I was expecting. I don't think that's good for what the Fed's trying to do as far as interest rates cuts are going.
Yeah. So the U.S. unemployment rate for January, 3.7% versus the 3.8% estimate. The prior reading was 3.7%. And then average hourly earnings here month over month for January, plus 6% versus the plus 3% estimates. That number a little bit hotter there. Non-farm payrolls plus 355 versus the plus 187 estimate. So seeing a little bit more unemployment there.
Yeah, and the Fed is looking to end 2024 between 3.9 and 4.5, with their median being 4.1. Not that it's impossible to get there, but it's an uphill battle right now with jobs being as strong as they are. We need to see more job losses so wage growth can come in. The Fed will feel more comfortable cutting rates once that happens, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I think March is pretty much off the table. We'll see how this sets up. We'll probably have the same conversations going into the next meeting, and we'll figure out, try to figure out when they're actually going to change some of these interest rates. Now, as far as SPY goes, you still have 485 as a support to the downside here?
Yes. I think 489 might give us a bit of support, but I think 485 is a stronger level.
Okay, so we'll see what happens at 485. If we do come down, we're going to be looking at some of the other individual names, though, I'm sure. So, okay, let's go ahead and we're going to do the movers here real quick. I'm going to run through what I have on my list. Then we'll talk if you have anything, and we'll ask here for the chat. So it looks like the chat's already talking about mini-me. So let's just start with that, huh? Why don't we just start with the familiar territory here? So MINM, your biggest gapper here today. We've talked a lot about this. There's no new fresh news or anything here. This just looks like a continuation momentum move. Be careful with it, all that great stuff. But we've traded this a number of times. It's actually provided some trading opportunities for us. This here now, we have really tested the $8 level. Now, we were rejected there once already this morning. We traded briefly above it one more time and flat out rejected back down to this next level. So here are some of the levels that I have for NINM here. I'm going to actually go ahead and add one more here at this new high that we have. This to me, just going to be a technical setup. Would love for this to come back into the VWAP, maybe even dip like a little bit of a flush beneath the VWAP. That'd be great because I feel like that would be a buyable flush. And then maybe we get a snap back here for some quick gains. So mini me definitely back in play here today. This has been in play several times this week. So just like our VSN, it's not over till it's over, right?
Yeah, that one stakeholder that has over 51% of the shares, that just seems to be giving a lot of investors confidence that there's no way it's going to go that low because he doesn't want it to. I guess that's the thought.
Yeah. Smoke Tuna saying, got to ride MINM from 382 yesterday. So nice trade there. Smoke Tuna, you've been all over this here. Real quickly, Lynn, giving you some insight here. Nick Shaheen, Wall Street is declaring victory too early. The U.S. still headed for a recession. Surge in credit card delinquencies might be harbinger of coming recession. 13, that's something that we have been discussing in the happy hour for quite a long time. Thankfully, I'm not responsible for this because I just paid my credit card this morning. So don't look at me if that's the case. But yeah, really good point, Lynn. I also think that there's still going to be a recession coming. We'll see if it shakes out maybe late February for kind of the big move down. You know, I was thinking maybe some of these earnings were going to start a bigger move down here this week. We really haven't got it, right? Even any move down has been matched with buyers. So buy the dip still in effect here on some of these names. And of course, we have the meta madness here today. Yeah. I'm going to keep rolling here on some of these. This is CCTG, although this one seems odd to me. I think we've got...
This one has a low float.
Oh no, yeah. This actually so this closed on like this plunge. That's why I'm getting this reading here. So I'm not gonna pay too much attention to the actual change percent number here because I think that's just kind of luck of the draw. The reality is that this was a $20 stock that sold off to what looks like almost $2.50 here, or $3 or something like that. Do we bounce here today? I can't tell you what ended up happening with this one.
Yeah, I think Nick Sanders is right. It's a recent IPO. I'm not 100% sure, but it's I'm seeing a lot of these too. Like the very next one after CCTG, I was looking at was TRUG, and that one looks like a SPAC.
Yeah, True Golf. This one I believe is a SPAC here. I'm not going to be fooled by golf in the title. I'm not just going to buy it just because it has golf in there and just because I'm really fiending for golf right now and I can't wait.
I thought you'd be tempted.
I'm not. I mean, look, here's the thing. If this sets up, yeah, I might dip my toe in a little bit, but if we don't get a setup here, if we don't get a tradable setup here, I'm not going to just buy it because it's golf, but we'll see here. This one, I mean, maybe it bounces back. These two, let's watch. Let's wait and see how they actually trade when the market opens before we make any decision on that. KOPN, however, this is one that I know we've seen before on the relative volume scanner. This is, of course, Copen. We did pop as high as 260 here. We've come back into the VWAP. We're doing a really good job riding above the VWAP here. Maybe we get a push away from the VWAP here. We did have a PR that they received 3 million in new orders on Wednesday for several simulated thermal sites, but I don't think that's still driving it. That's old news. What did you have here?
It's the only thing I could find. I don't think there's anything else really moving this. And when I look back on those days to see what kind of price action we had, it didn't really even seem to get noticed. So I think this is just a late reaction to that news. That's the only thing I could really see with this.
Okay, sorry, just handling something else here. Okay, now we get out of the little trader stocks to some actual companies here, and Meta up 16%, just about 16% here. This is a massive move for a company of this size. I mean, this is just incredible. They did report earnings. They also initiated a quarterly dividend, which is one of the reasons that it's pushing this. Our discussion on Happy Hour suggested that this might have kind of started a squeeze effect on Meta, which very well might be the case here. That dividend is 50 cents. That is like less than 0.5%. This is not a big dividend at all. It is something. It is something, but it's really not a huge dividend by any stretch of the imagination. They had a share buyback. I saw that there were some re-ratings here this morning. So Barclays, for example, maintaining their overweight rating, but raising the price target. Citigroup maintaining buy. So looks like some price target shifts here. Looks like not necessarily new coverage or a change in rating, but instead just a re-rating of the price targets. So Meta running here. I saw Jay Harris asked earlier, Meta short today. I'll be honest, for me, if I'm going to trade Meta today, the trade is a trade to the short side. Again, 16% move. I understand the earnings. Maybe you don't want to do this on day one. To me, it feels like Meta's looking like a short at some point. I mean, if we take a look at this daily chart here, let me actually get the number here, because this is absolutely insane in here. Let me get this right in here. Oh my gosh. Come on. Click the right thing, for heaven's sake. All right. Meta from November 7th is up 432%.
That's from
432. Say again?
That's from 2022.
From 2022, sorry. Yeah. November 7th, 2022, Meta's up 432%. I mean, that's just over a year. Just over a year, right? Year and 4 months. That is it. I mean, this is a huge move. This is a huge move. At some point, this thing needs to pull back. This sure feels like a blow-off effect to me. Now, let's be very clear. I did say that about SMCI, didn't I? Right after that report, that has kept going. This is also vertical. So, Jay, you had asked earlier, Jay Harris, you were asking, is this a short? That's the way I would look to play it, but that doesn't mean it's going to work. And B, if you're going to take a short on something that is an absolute rocket to the upside, it really behooves you to be careful with that position. You need to make sure that you have an out in case your plan doesn't work here. The way I would do this is do this with options. So my risk is defined ahead of time, and I can't possibly put myself in a short position that keeps on running. So we'll look. We'll see. We will take a look on Meta. I'd love to hear. If you guys are trading Meta today, I would love to hear how you're doing it.
I think the dude Abides has a great point about how the dividend gets value funds to look at it. So it's very, very, I'm very, very cautious about even trying to short that as much as I am trying to even buy it.
Indeed.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
Indeed, you're absolutely right. The only point that I was making is that the dividend is very, very small by comparison. There's no arguing that. It's very, very small. Now, is this important to get value funds to look at it? Yes. I mean, how many people are left to buy Meta? If a bunch of value funds start pouring into this name at all-time highs after a 16% pop on earnings, and that's what happens. I don't know that that's what's going to happen, but if that's what happens, that's what happens. So again, if I have no position on this, let me be very clear. I have no position on this. I will let you know if I initiate one. If I played this, I'd use the options just to kind of keep myself protected.
I know that some of the chat was mentioning INBS, and we didn't really cover that one because that one was a little bit of a late mover on the scanners.
Let's cover it now.
This one is moving on a release of preliminary earnings. They have a very low float. They just did a 12-for-1 reverse split earlier this week on the 29th. So it's checking all the boxes. The only thing it hasn't really checked is the short interest, which it's not going to be of much consequence right now. I think the things that I just listed are enough to drive this thing pretty wildly today.
Okay. So INDS, this is popping here. It looks like 340, definitely the spot to get over. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, I was just going to talk to myself a little bit. I don't have any level set for this yet. I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
INDS.
Good deal. Anything else that you folks in the chat want to look at? We got about 10 minutes till we get started here. Again, we do have a special surprise and an announcement later. I'll let you know when we get closer to that, but really, really excited. Let me know if there's any other stocks that you folks want to take a look at. Sidna, geez, I tried to say Sydney's name while also looking at the ticker. Roma, Sydney brought up Roma earlier. I'm sorry, Sydney. Roma, this was a recent IPO. Crow, I believe that you absolutely destroyed this thing when it IPO'd. I think this, I'm pretty sure that this was it. This went all the way up to 20. I feel like
This thing,
no. That was from way in the past. Yeah, okay. So this was one of those. I think when this first came out as a new issue a couple of weeks ago, Crow was mentioning this one. This thing down to 94 cents here today. It is up 25% here. I guess this is maybe the penny stock of the day here on Roma. We're beneath the VWAP, so let's see if we can reclaim that. I probably won't trade this one. Yeah. Good memory, Ryan. You are correct. Okay, my memory's not failing me that early, Crow. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see. What else did you folks want to take a look at? ADWTX Meta up too fast after earnings, looking for a reasonable level. I think you meant reasonable level, maybe about 400. That's kind of the thesis of the short, right? Maybe a regression back to the mean, not necessarily that the company is going to do poorly, but a regression back to the mean. So what's up with uranium, says Kush. Uranium's been moving, and we have had a chat member in this chat telling us that for months. So I what's up with it today? I haven't checked on it today. Let's take a look at that. Oh, and I don't have a price quote for this. I'm sorry. We're going to have to check on this a little bit later. I'll try and refresh here and see if that works.
I want to say I've been seeing recent news about uranium coming back into favor since solar is kind of falling out of favor. I can't remember where I saw that or where I read it or who said it, but I recall seeing something about uranium that is giving it more attention these days.
James saying, sorry to interrupt, but this comment shook me to my core. Another surprise, Ryan. Let me think. You going to be dad of twins too? No, absolutely not. I am not. That much I can tell you for sure. That is not what the surprise is going to be, James. Whew, man, that gave me heart palpitations right there. Okay, so here is Ura. You can see that these uranium stocks making all-time highs here. We'll see if there's any more. Uranium prices up and supply down. So Jay giving you the very basic economics there of exactly why these stocks are moving. Shout out, by the way, I know this user mentioned a couple of ETFs. Jay, you've also been mentioning the individual names like LEU, CCJ. I think Euro was one of the ones that you were mentioning. So good stuff there. Okay. Let's see. What else do you folks want to take a look at here? Happy Groundhog Day. Happy Groundhog Day, boy. That's a good movie. Bill Murray is still the king, just in case any of you were confused about that. Born, you had mentioned Google earlier. Let's take a look at that. GOOG. All right. So here is Google. So Google set some new all-time highs, and this earnings report really kind of brought it back down here. This, again, I would say keep context here, right? This has been on a big run. This pullback probably healthy for the stock long term. If I bring it up on my other chart tool, we actually took a look at this one yesterday as well. We had, that was the wrong ticker, GOOG. Here you go. This actually came right back in to the 50-day moving average. It's right above it. Even if that fails, it's really only 3 points down to the 100-day moving average and 11 points to that 200-day moving average. So the move here on Google's down. We'll see if that actually continues here. This, I don't mind this at all. I actually think that this is great, right? Some of these tech stocks really should probably come in. The sooner they do that, the sooner they can move to some new highs.
Yeah, I'd like to see Google at least come down to their 200-day SMA. That would be about 129.50. I think that'd be a good size pullback. I want to see something when this particular pattern forms where we kind of have a rounding bottom, or not a bottom, but a cup. I'm looking for the handle to form. Usually you get about 20 to 30% on when it comes back in off the lows, between the lows and the high. Just take 30%. That's about where you want to see it come in. So I'm looking for the 200-day SMA for it to find some support.
Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see if we come in that much here. If we take a look at a little extended chart here, you can see that the 20-week moving average is about 137. That also might be support. The stock's done a pretty good job riding that in the past, even going back to 2020. So we'll see here on Google. I like this. I'm actually not put off by the move back down. The other one here that reported earnings yesterday was going to be Amazon. I actually think that this also might. Let me go back to an intraday here. So this popped. It's really kind of held its move up, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe this comes in a little bit. 167, 165. I could see that here today with Amazon if the market remains weak here. Got about 4 minutes, 3.5 minutes here until we get open. Is there anything else that you folks want to take a look at? Oh, Tom, you're bringing up Sing, right? What was that? Sorry, 13. I talked right over you again.
No worries.
Let's take a look here at Sing because this one actually got mentioned yesterday. Cleo, give me a break, man.
It's what is this? Looking for a bounce in this one today, down 40% in pre-market?
Yeah, you can see this is actually coming back. This bounced right around the end of December here. It's really coming back into that level. This was halted yesterday, wasn't this? I feel like yesterday. Yeah. So first of all, this had a big run yesterday right out of the open and did nothing but sell off. Today in the pre-market, extremely weak. I'll be honest, this to me seems like a pass. Unless you can get a flush or some type of tradable bottom, which I don't see in here, this to me seems extremely weak. Take a look here at the news. Yep, offering here this morning, $2 a share. It's currently at $2.
That's how they get you.
Maybe you get a bounce, right? Maybe you get a bounce from this area. To me, I'm going to pass on Sing.
Yeah, that's how they get you. They let the stock run up and go, okay, well, now we can try to generate some more cash by doing an offering. And they put that one out. INBS, man, this thing is absolutely tearing. And the Crow pretty much in the same boat with you. I'm just going to wait for this one to come back in because I don't want to touch this. I don't want to touch this right now.
Chase it here? I mean,
I can't run that fast.
I can't run that fast. Okay. What were you guys wondering about Sing? What did I miss? What did I miss?
Looks like CCTG is starting to push up a bit here. It's got a nice double bottom formation in the pre-market and after hours. That could be interesting. I don't even, and this is one of the ones that just has no news, but it's low float, so it's really simple to get pushed around.
And this came in from 21. Maybe we do get a bounce here. We'll take a look at that. Happy Friday, Wisdom. Good to see you. 2 minutes from showtime. Let's get it rolling.
I do want to bring up Zim because that one had a big drop yesterday, and I bought that. I tried to get a 1250 fill, but it didn't fill me. But this has been the plan with Zim. You know, when it goes under 13 or it goes down to a certain level, because I was looking for more even under 12. I'm buying, and then if it goes over 14 or 15, I'll be selling. I'm just going to keep trading this around a core position until we get a breakout or breakdown, whichever one comes first. But I still think that the story with this and the Red Sea and the Suez Canal is not over yet. I only think it's going to get worse.
I agree with you. And you know what? If we get an opportunity to add Zim under 13, we're going to go ahead and do that in Trade the Pool. Speaking of which, Trade the Pool is a sponsor of this stream. It is the best prop firm out there. Get up to 260K buying power. It can really help you get over that 25K threshold if that's what you need. Check out Trade the Pool. Awesome guys. And they actually come in here and help us out quite a bit on top of that. So speaking of Trade the Pool, still in TGTX. This has been a really, really great swing. Still looking for maybe 20s if we can get there. I've lightened up some on the way up, but it's about time to take some more gains off the table. We'll see what we can get in Zim here. We are open. Let's get it rolling. Flipping over to my scanner. Let's make some trades here today, folks.
I got to be honest with you. I'm a little nervous about the treasury yields spiking like they are. We're right back up to 4%.
Dollars really catching a bid?
Yeah, that could result in what is happening here?
KOPN moving up. You okay?
Yeah, I'm getting some stuff flashing across my screen right now about oh no, never mind. That's just canceled. Okay, sorry.
Okay. Nope, all good. Just making sure everything's cool. Making sure everything's cool. COP or KOPN, I beg your pardon. Let's see if it can move through that 237.
All right. INBS still moving, waiting for that pullback. Levels that I got marked off were 390, 375, and 335. if we get downside. That's what I'm going to be looking at to add.
Let's take KOPN. I also want to take a look at Meta here. You know, I'm going to bring up Meta in another chart so I can keep an eye on it at all times here. First move, let me bring it up.
DWAC with more moves. They had news this morning, Digital World. They're testing video streaming, which is going to probably hurt RUM. We've traded that. I didn't realize this, but DWAC and RUM have a partnership. And RUM delivers streaming services and other services to DWAC. So if they're trying to do their own thing, then that's going to hurt their partnership.
Just checking out Meta contracts here. They are really expensive. Still high IV on a lot of those as well. Meta's first move here is down right off the VWAP rejection. So we will check on Meta again. I'm not surprised to see that come in. KOPN looks like it did set a new high here and then really kind of came. See, this is, I was looking at that. I'm like, this looks like a really good chance to on a pop if it breaks these highs, but we just haven't seen that a whole lot. And we broke these highs by 3 or 4 cents and the stock immediately came right back in. So good morning, Judge. It's great to see you.
Judge.
BRTX being mentioned, mini-me going. Let me take a look.
No, it's falling.
Oh, it's falling. Sorry.
Finding support from the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. Next level I have below where it's trading is 620, 621. Not quite sure if it's going to get down that far yet because it's getting some good support right now. So we'll see if this holds and reverses here or goes higher.
Meta's still coming in a little bit. Let me put up INBS in another window. That is kept moving. Looks like the high 487 on INBS. Let me bring it up in here. 487, your high on INBS. Looks like it's coming off those highs. 432 is VWAP. If we get down there, maybe even take a trade there. We'll see. Jonathan mentioning KOPN. Is that going?
Yep, they're almost to 250 now.
Okay, so that did take off the high the second time and then moved.
DWAC pushing went over 42, spiked to 42 and came back in. Man, this thing is just super spready.
Yeah, and when DWAC starts moving, that's when it really starts to spread out.
Okay, so it looks like mini-me might be getting some support off the 65 EMA, still trying to push back up off that level.
INBS, man. Smoke Tuna, it looks like you're long INBS at 395. Get ready to ring that register here. Looks like some size here at 486. Boy, they just ate that in a hurry. Higher we go. Refilled there at 90. Looks like some more size here at 80. So when it breaks these highs, they bring in blocks that hit, but the buyers are taking them. So eventually that's going to stop. So far, strength still here. Looks like we're going to try to set some new highs here. 490 intraday high.
Yeah, this probably could go well over 5 before it comes back in.
Yeah, size growing there at 490, but still not a lot. I imagine that this falls here. There's a rejection. Here's coming back in a little bit there. Would love for this to get back to the VWAP.
Got some Trug. Is Trug actually working? That's the SPAC that we were talking about earlier. True Golf. Doesn't really seem like it's doing much right now.
Yeah, see, I'm not going to buy it just for the name. Like, I'm not going to get fooled just because I'm addicted to golf. I'm not going to donate money. We're going to save it and go play golf. Maybe this is bottom though. Nice little bottom wicks here on the 3-minute. Looks like we've got the MACD histogram trying to go positive here. Signal lines aren't really pitching up yet, but flat, and maybe that blue one is pitching up a little bit. Maybe we will move here in Trug.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. My mouse is not able to click on anything.
Oh, did your battery die?
No, I don't use battery mouse.
Oh, that was the right answer anyway. I don't either, for the record. Mine's a wired mouse.
Okay, there we go.
Wisdom said, "Who ate my apple?" Tim Cook did, man.
It looks like mini-me did try to start bouncing. Let's see what happens. It's trying to get back over VWAP.
Here is mini-me. We'll see that. Look at that big long tail on that candle. By the way, Meta, after that little bit of a sell-off, that's trying to go higher here. So this is one of the things that we were afraid of. Here's one of the other things. This is VWAP right here, but maybe in this 465 potential short zone. Look, no position on Meta. Contracts look expensive. I would probably want to set up some type of multi-leg trade in order to capture this. Be careful if you trade Meta. It is an absolute ripper. That being said, I do think we probably see some resistance here about 465, 4 points higher from where we're at. 465, 466.
Smoke Tuna mentioning NRBO. This one also had support from the 65 EMA on the 5-minute, and now it is taken off, about to take out some pre-market highs.
Yep, we traded this one yesterday. Here we go on NRBO. This is really starting to gear here. 578 has a little bit of size, but not anything that's going to do anything. Not anything notable, I should say. Happy Friday, Jacob Bear. Let's go bear down, baby.
Now look at that. There goes NRBO. That was a great call.
Rick Potter bringing up Piton. We talked about that. I had a real rough day yesterday. He's really kind of just holding in there on Piton. NRBO, that's going to IMDS.
You'd think it's going to come back down, so I'm just going to kind of watch it to see if.
Yeah, I think it is. We're looking for that 444 here at VWAP. There's a little bit of size there. 445 and 440 beneath it.
That was a good. It had good support off the 65 EMA, and now it's coming back up to some of these shorter time frame EMAs. I don't know that it's going to get back up to the pre-market high of 806, but it can if it wants. I mean, whatever it wants.
Look here at Mini-Me. We really needed to take out that VWAP to go higher. IMBS coming into that VWAP. That's where I'm going to try and add if I can get it.
We might not get a shot. It's just too strong at the moment.
It's just that. Well, this is the type of bounce action that I wanted to get, but I really wanted to respect the plan, and the level that I'd had really didn't quite get there.
EKS mentioning CMND that we were trading yesterday.
Meta 464. Meta looks like that's going higher.
It looks like we're trying to test those pre-market highs of 184 in CMND. Volume is not as great as I would like it, but still looks like it has some decent upside. Copen kind of going sideways.
U of A, University of Arizona. What did I
because you're going to Arizona? I don't know.
No, I don't get it. I don't understand what I said that made that comment.
Did you say no, I maybe just mention one of their mascots?
Maybe isn't it? I don't know. That guy, sorry, I don't follow. Help me out. Draw me a map. 445, the spot here still on IMBS. Some pretty big size there. We'll see if it actually bounces off of that.
Yeah, I just might have to wait a couple minutes for some of these things to come in. Looks like DWAC's trying to hold 13, all right. I'm sorry, not DWAC, Zim. I got those two next to each other, my bad.
It's all good. Let me take a look here at Zim.
Yeah, that drop yesterday was such a great buying opportunity.
Yeah, you actually might
right back at the 14.
We might be able to get this under 13 again.
Mm-hmm. I want to kind of see what it does. If it goes right under 13 here, I'll still wait. I want to see how low it can go.
Yeah. And RBO still at the highs here.
Yeah, I think INBS is trying to push to go higher, maybe into the 5 area. It's really it's really trying to get up there. But
bear down. Bear down is the Chicago Bears rallying cry for probably 100 years. No, that is not connected to U of A. At least not for me. At least not for me. So IMBS looks like it did actually bounce off of this. Was 445 that we were waiting for. I guess never really got down there. They're bringing in some bids under it. Maybe this goes higher here. Oh, never mind. I want that volume to really kind of turn around. It's just seller volume at the moment.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of red for the moment. Everything just kind of going lower.
I'm going to take 100 shares here. I'm going to try to scale into this one, INBS. So long a little bit here. I'm going to use market orders to scale. That's all I had to do was buy it, and we get a little bit of a flush here down to that 445. In fact, let me put another limit order right there. We'll get another 100 shares if it comes into that 445. This is the level that I wanted initially.
All those things we were talking about.
Meta new highs now, took out those pre-market highs. Sorry for running you over.
No worries. You know, you're going to get run over if you stand in the street, right? All right, INBS coming in.
Yep, here we go. Filled another 100 shares here. So let's see if this settles. This is why I wanted to scale in. I thought that there might be another one of these plunges. Okay, now let's see if we can go higher here, and we'll just trade around this.
Yeah, if I could get it like around 390, that'd be pretty cool.
450 there. Looks like the sellers are putting some size in there at 450.
There goes mini-me. Holy cow.
Yeah, I'm going to have to flip to that in a sec here. I got to manage this one.
Yeah, mini-me is over 7.
Nope, bought the wrong one again. Oh, well. Sorry, folks. I will flip to mini-me when I get a chance, but I am in an active trade that I am going to have to manage here because it's not looking good.
Camp. Oh, I had a huge spike in the pre-market. I don't know anything about this one. Reverse split. Is that what this is?
God, INBS, no chill. This breaks this 405. We're going to have to be out. This is wild. It is not bouncing at all. Here we go. First resemblance of a bounce.
Yeah, I'm going to put some orders out for that level I have down there.
What was it again? 3 what?
Somewhere between 390 and 392. I have a level.
Yeah.
Try there.
Okay. I'm going to let this shake out here. Let's take a look here at mini-me real quick. Oh, big VWAP reclaim. Let's see. Did that print 750s? No, not quite.
Not
Just
quite,
shy.
no.
Just shy of it. Just shy of it. Okay, let's go back to the INBS mess. We can bounce from somewhere in here. It looks like this was a consolidation area earlier, 420-ish.
NRBO, that's popping too. I really should just stop saying what's moving because I'll just look over to the chat and I see that Crow or Smoke Tuna or EKS has already mentioned it.
Yeah, that's our chat scanner. Chat scanner beta version, just absolutely rolling here.
CMND with a big knife.
I think we're going to have INBS test these day lows here. Portillo's having a rough day again. What a surprise!
Which one is
Portillo's? That management. I love the food. I love the store, but man, oh man, that management team is bad. They are really not doing a good job at all.
Yeah, how about the Meta and Amazon? It's just wild that they're still printing new highs today.
Here it looks like you're going to get your move here on INBS. New lows here. Boy, that entry could not have been much worse than I had it. Holy cow. As soon as I bought it, it was down yet again. We get on some of these. Meta ripping here, so that's short. I'm glad I didn't take that one either. 471, your high there on Meta. We'll see where that exhausts itself. Still going to kind of look for that one, but no position. Again, not trying to jump in front of a train here.
Yeah, the dude abides. That's what I think that he had the best comment on Meta and some of these big, well, specifically Meta with the dividend comment. Yeah, things are kind of coming in. Am I about to get my fill here?
I want to see if INBS bounces from that level that you have marked here.
We should find out soon.
NVIDIA 650, that thing's just raging too.
Is it at 650? It is.
650 prints, baby.
Let's see.
Wasn't that your target? Wasn't that your target? There you go. 390s now on IMBS. You had, what was the area that you were looking for? 392. I see some thighs there at 390.
Yeah. I haven't quite been filled yet. Pretty close though. How crazy would it be if it just like reversed here?
I'd want to add, get a better price here. I got a 450 average on this thing. I'm down big.
Ooh.
SMCI, this curling back up towards the highs, had 605 high in the pre-market. This moving here with the rest of tech.
Yeah, for NVIDIA, 650 was my best guess just because we were headed in that direction, and that's the top of the wedge that I had drawn earlier. So we probably could see some reversing action happen pretty soon in NVIDIA. That would be my guess. Well, that's a big order at 404 and it's getting destroyed for INBS.
Watching it right here on the ladder. They hit, there it goes. And there's some bids beneath it, so maybe we turn around here in IMBS. Maybe it bottoms out. I'll wait. If I'm going to add and try to lower my cost basis and then be able to make some of this money back on a bounce, I'll wait for a bounce to be confirmed at this point. I don't need to be catching any more knives.
Looks like Zim's trying to come back, getting up into the 13 teens.
NRBO, big volume, and actually we're popping here on IMBS, so maybe that was it. I don't want to get too excited just yet, but NRBO, this moving even higher, trying to take those highs off. We'll see here on NRBO.
What you got? INBS.
Got to move back up. The VWAP is what it's got here. Definitely should have added around that 4 level.
So 393 was the low.
And you had an order for 392.
Yeah.
You got Zunated.
Yeah.
You got Zunated.
I got Finzu.
Oh man, that was so you know what? Big, I know he's not here. Big shout out to Zunaid for being real cool about having nicknames and always wanting to have a laugh and you know, being personal about it. That's really awesome. He's got a great name for nicknames. He's got a great name for it. Like, that's just awesome. IMBS is trying to bounce here. I mean, we'll see if this gets rejected at that 440 level, which is where the VWAP is, and maybe it can't make new highs. But so far, bounce is pretty decent here.
Yeah, I got mine about 9 cents higher. So yeah, I think we're going to try to get back up to VWAP, and we'll see what happens there. $3.93. Get out of here. What's moving, folks? CVX on earnings. Oh yeah, we had CVX earnings, and I think we also had ExxonMobil as well, didn't we? Let me take a look here.
Yes, I believe that we did. They had the CEO on CNBC this morning.
EPS beat, sales miss. Okay, well, we'll see.
INBS still kind of watching that. All right, let's see. Let me roll through the chat here. First of all, thanks everyone for being here. Smash up the like for my man 13. I will be bringing on a special guest and making an announcement at some point here today. Stick around for that. In the meantime, we're going to try to make sense of what's going on here.
Is it going to make it up to VWAP? Yep, there it goes. It's almost there. Well, it probably got up to your VWAP for sure.
Want it to go green though. Like it's great that it's coming back. That's one thing, but without the ad down there, really need this to kind of push higher to make any money on it.
I think that the formation looks pretty good here. If we get above VWAP, if we close this 5-minute candle above VWAP, then that's going to be very encouraging.
Born saying, "What a day in Google! It's so about the levels." Well, you gotta sell off and a nice little bounce there, and now another move back down to that 138 here. Let us know what levels you have for that, Born. I'd be curious to know. Rejected there on INBS. Oh my God, really? That this has got to be broken. This has got to be. There's no, because there's no way. I mean, if you got really like that, I would be really disappointed, honestly, if that's the case.
I think you're about to get a big push in INBS.
That would be sweet.
Or a big rejection.
Yeah,
I just saw huge bids come in, so that's why
I see more likes on there. So I think that number is incorrect, Bernhard. But just for that, smash up the like.
Yeah.
So, little bit of size here, 445, 444, 445 on the offer, but we'll see if we can actually push through that. I know, Cleo, I'm trying.
She's rooting for you. Sorry.
All right, 450 up. Let's see if we can take it.
Oh, the bids are coming in. I'm gunning for you here, dude.
Yep, and we'll see if we can get it.
Looking for the
Let's
next
see
setup.
that this would have. You think about how great this would have been if I could have actually added right at that level, right at 4, or maybe even just like a little bit beneath at 395. Nice little 100, 200 share add there. We'd be rocking right now. Might even be talking about taking some gains here. Looking around at some of the other stuff going on.
I think you're getting some profit here, dude, in INBS.
Yeah, I'm definitely up on it. Want to see it take 469. Nice.
You gonna get a stop out there?
In a sec. Sorry.
There we go.
Checking some of the other things here. Yep, there's the big pop that we want. Now we're going up towards 490. This is what we wanted the first time. See if it takes out 5. You know what I'd like to do is actually put this order out here.
1 penny is how much I missed that by. Oh well, there'll be another one to set up that I can get.
We do want to set a stop.
KOPN. It looks like might be the next one to move here.
Oh no.
Good job, James.
So we're going to put that stop right at that 469 level. That was a breakout. We'll see if we get it. And then I have another target above it. We'll see if we get that as well.
Yeah, we went almost to $5, just penny shy. Could start to see some selling pressure come in with this now.
That would be okay. We've got the stop is out, so can't possibly lose on this. We do have a higher, little bit more aggressive target in case we get that other push on there. Just kind of reviewing this trade here, definitely missed the ad. The ad would have made this a really great trade. Stopped out, by the way, for a gain. However, glad that the entry here wasn't good, right? So there's a couple of things that I've been trying to focus on and I've been talking about. One of them was entries. Entry here was poor. But the patience level here, that actually reminds me, we've got to close this working order because I don't want to go short if it pops up there. And there it goes. So it came back in. Let's see if it actually sets some new highs here. I'm going to wait for INBS to set up 1 for 1 on this move there. 13, that was a great call. I know it was 1 cent off, but man, that was a great call.
Yeah, it is what it is, but thank you. It's levels matter, folks.
Yeah, they sure do. That's what Bourne was telling you. They sure do.
If you can look to the left and you can identify where we had price reversals, good price action, consolidations, you get some pretty good levels to help with your trading.
All right, now let me start rotating. I'm sorry I've been stuck on this so much for you guys here. AMD, good. Yeah, Nash. AMD pushing to the weekly highs here. AMD real strong out of that. NRBO really kind of coming back in. This actually at the VWAP. Looks like it's breaking beneath the VWAP on NRBO.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the 65 EMA on the 5-minute might be stronger. If not,
oh my gosh.
What?
It keeps going down, keeps selling off. NRBO. KOPN being mentioned by Jonathan. Let's take a look. KOPN, this did a great move back to the VWAP and now going higher. We'll see if this actually sets new highs. Are we on deck here? 245. There's big size and some size above. Let's see on COPN. Excuse me. Sorry. It's so annoying. I'm just trying to talk and it's like, God.
The excitement's clogging up your airways.
Oh, man, it's so annoying. I'm sorry about that. Oh my God, INBS, massive rip to the upside on INBS. This was the initial move that we were hoping for here. It's too bad I got stopped out because my other target would have been right on. INBS big push. Go ahead. Sorry.
Just understand with INBS, this is preliminary ER, very, very low float. So this will absolutely move like crazy. And they just reverse split too. That's why it's very low float. So
and you're getting the biggest volume sticks of the day in this window right now. So INBS, big move there. If you guys are in from any of this trading that we were doing early or the curl, please think about, maybe booking some of those gains. We've seen how volatile this can be. We've seen how much this can pull. When you get gains that are this big off pops like this, it's good money management to make sure you book some of those.
Protect yourself.
Take care of yourself, Mystery Man. Thanks for all your support, and we'll see you on Monday.
See you later, Mr. Man. INBS still going. Oh man. Well, it looks like it's coming back in. Okay, so it went almost right up to that next level I had, which was at 570. It's about 11 cents short.
So there you go. So you've pretty much dialed here on INBS. You're right in there. You had the buy spot within a penny, 11 cents on the upside target. I mean, dude,
I'd agree with you.
Pretty good.
I'd agree with you if I'd filled. I'm going to stew on that for a little bit for sure, though.
There will always be that other opportunity.
It really does seem like INBS has a potential to go higher too, especially if we start getting some of these EMA crossings.
Yeah, and QN here, this is one of the things that we're trying to say. You can easily lose 50% in seconds on ultra low float names. So it's going to be really important to manage your position sizing on there and not reacting too quickly. INBS, the Crow, 1 red, 1 green trade on it. The day is long. Some nice powerhouse breakouts. There you go, Crow. Keep at it. Keep at it. INBS holding around 5 at the moment.
Yeah, I'm watching KOPN to see if we can. Well, it's made new highs in this current candle we have, but I want to see it to do a breakout here. Don't know if I'm going to get it or not.
Now, oh, no, it wasn't KOPN. It was another stock that we were, NRBO, I believe. It broke the high and then came back in and then broke the high again. So it wasn't on that first move. It was on that second one.
And then on the 5-minute for NRBO, I think I mentioned this when it was coming in. The 65 EMA looked like a good level, and it's rebounded right off that right now. So I want to see the next candle not go down there again, because then I'd get a little worried about NRBO. But right now it's got a nice bounce off the 65 EMA.
Benjamin took INBS for a good day, sold half, still in 453. Love the tactic of selling half and staying in for a run. Just protect yourself on the remaining shares, and you did a great job this morning, Benjamin. Nice job. NRBO, looking at this here, this is actually a pretty decent bounce spot. I know we're bouncing off of it already. This is actually not a bad spot. I mean, there's another one beneath it here, maybe 510. But
okay, looks like
NRBO.
KOPN is starting to get going here. This is looking pretty good.
KOPN broke those highs. CRDO breaking those highs. CRDO moving. This actually might be stripped. This might be moving a little bit more. Let me go back to KOPN.
It's a bit of a slow popper, but it's moving.
That's okay. You think we get another move here in INBS? Maybe a move back down through the VWAP? Maybe another setup?
I don't know if let me just finish this stop order that I have here.
All good.
So I don't lose on KOPN. INBS. I think I need to let it develop, like this, kind of let it play out a little bit more. What's that?
Mark.
Judge, you there? You playing this still?
I think you left early, man. Mark, okay, so we talked about this on this penny stock scam thing all over the place. Moving here, be careful if you're trading this Mark pushing eyes. Oh, man, I thought we were out of the woods after Mark came in the other day after its big move, but here we go again, Joe.
Sometimes these things just don't die.
KOPN, another pop for you there. 260's got some size.
Getting an 9 EMA crossing VWAP right now, so that's what I was hoping for. That's what I was getting in on. Got my stop raised, putting it up to 250 now. Don't want to lose on profit. So we'll see what happens here. If I get my stop filled, then I'm good. I got a nice little run there, and I'm out.
Cool. Oh, nice job. Let's trade 13.
Thank you.
Booking some gains here.
Got something today. Something filled, didn't it?
There you go.
INBS.
You always have Mark available for you.
Yeah. And KOPM is probably gonna could go higher too, but I'm gonna wait and see if we get a little bit of a pullback first.
Let's take a look. I'm gonna roll through some of those big. Oh my God, Meta. Let's see. What I want to know at this point now, where is the exhaustion zone in Meta? Where is the exhaustion zone in Meta? That's one of the things I'm going to be looking at. I'm going to take a look at SMCI here. This was also vertical. This coming back in. Here's Apple. Apple actually holding the low, right? Kind of coming off that low there. Well, I'm sorry, 13. What were you going to say?
Put up a fib on Meta. I think that's really. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but I think that's probably one of the only things that's going to give you a good idea of some accurate levels that you could shoot for to see it come in.
This just seems like exuberance here today. Jay Rice, here's a bit of a lesson I learned from Christian Fromhertz. Just because a stock gaps doesn't mean you can't buy it. Use the EG of DEC, the previous quarter. Sorry, I don't know what that is. Use the EG of DEC, the previous quarter when it gapped. Use the example of DEC is what he means. The previous quarter when it gapped to 650, it's 882 a quarter later. Wish I had it. So I think the point there is that a real strong stock that gaps up just because it's up doesn't necessarily mean that you can't buy it. The example here is DEC. This did gap up here, right over here, right? Looked great. Look at this. This just keeps moving up, and now another gap up here. I wish I had this too, Jay.
Oh man. Wow.
Look at this trend on PSTG, Pure Storage. This was a big mover.
What's so special about KOPM scopes? Hey, it's just moving, so I'm interested. And again, this is the one that I think this is just a late reaction to some of the news from earlier this week on their orders. I don't see anything else as a good reason why this is getting moved around so much, but other than that, no other catalyst. Okay.
Liquid crystal silicon devices, organic light emitting diodes, and others. Okay. This is like military lighting.
Looks like Mini-Me is about ready to move. Oh, it's moving. It's trying.
Oh, no.
Mini-Me is coming back, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Not bad. Let's see if MINM can actually give us a trade here to the upside.
It's through VWAP, so it's good. I'm just a little worried about some of these sizes up here.
730, I see one there, high at 745. By the way, IMBS, you thought it was over?
Did I?
530 here. Not you. Just generally.
I think this is going.
IMBS going for new highs here. Wow. Size there at 550, high of the day 559. Both those levels in play here.
Yeah, it looks like KOPN's coming in. I don't know. I think the volume in KOPN is not really up to where I want it to be, so I probably just not going to look at that. INBS has got the volume. CMMD trying to get back up to VWAP, had a bounce off of 200. Well, not a bounce really, but it went under these 200 EMA in the 5 minute, traded down a bit, came back up. Not bad.
Angel asking, do you think Amazon will go up? Well, if I knew, I'd be positioned for it. I will say that I think Amazon, as we learn more about the consumer and whether or not the consumer's tightening and that a recession is imminent, I think that's actually going to affect the price of Amazon considerably. I think you might have a kind of a back and forth in there.
Yeah, I have Amazon for a long-term hold, at least a year.
That's what I would want it for too. I wouldn't trade. Yeah.
I think it's much better in the long term. So that's my thought on it. I don't know about the short term. The short term, I don't really have as much confidence in.
Yeah, me either. I would take it. I would like your idea there. What I would say, Angels, do I think Amazon will go up? Yes, over the long term, but could the first move here be down if we get some bad economic news or the economy looks a little bit weaker? Yeah, absolutely. I could see that too. So to 13's point here, maybe on a move down into a support level, I'd look to add for a long-term hold. I wouldn't be a short-term player in Amazon. This is a product that I like and a service that I've had for a long time, a company that's an absolute monster. To me, that's something I want to have a good entry on a solid support and then give it some time to actually pay out.
Yeah, as long as their web services continue to grow like they are, it should be a really good company for the long term.
Exactly. And I mean, think about how much data and web services people are going to need for the AI expansion that's currently, I mean, to me, it's all good here. Benjamin, awesome job here. IMBS sold the other half, not greedy. Big win here for Benjamin.
Smart.
Bring the register. Let's go. That's exactly what we want to see. IMBS really paying our chat room here today.
Yeah, and clearly, he's not worried if this rips or not. I think that's a smart move, just to take the gains, wait for the next setup.
Yeah, I mean, when your pocket is bulging because of all of the money in it, it's hard to be upset about things. So
right.
I understand. Nice job, Benjamin. Nice work.
Yeah, you can put the money in your pocket and reach for the popcorn.
Yep. Nice work to you too, Tuna. NRBO, which we've talked about a number of times here, NRBO really kind of holding this level. I don't think it's going to stay here all day. Really, the question is going to be, do we go up or down from here? Up, you have a nice clear target here at the VWAP. It's 40 cents above. A break down beneath this. Long elevator down. I think this really 336. Let's see. First one here probably at 510. Then maybe 450. And then threes. So lots of air under NRBO if it starts to break down.
QN, do you have any other information on that? Because I thought the merger deal was off. Are they trying to sue to make it come back on now? I would love some more information if you got it. Otherwise, I'm going to look into that myself.
Yeah, well, here, I mean, if that's in the news feed, I've been in the Trade the Pool platform pretty much all morning here as we've been trading and rolling through stuff, but I'll bring up Pro here and see if I can't find the news for that.
Here we go with Mini-Me. It's starting to get some more volume.
And actually this intraday high here, this definitely going to be a level. I've got that at 745, I beg your pardon, 745.
Yeah,
see if that takes it off.
I'm thinking that if we continue this move up, it's going to hit 775 pretty quickly. But we need to clear that 745 that you just mentioned, and it's getting rejected. Okay, so things are starting to come in, it looks like.
Crow saying Mark is primed. This has been a grinder higher here. Good luck on Mark. That's one I'm going to stay away from. TSVT being mentioned by Jonathan Cooper. It's actually above yesterday's intraday high, isn't it? Yeah, sure is. This is actually a pretty decent looking chart on the daily. In fact, let me go back to Pro here, and then let me do. Oh, you know what? I think I was mid refresh on that. Yep.
Let me take a look at TSVT here. I want to take a look at something because it's not really moving a whole bunch, but I'm just curious what their float's like. If some whale comes in and just says, oh yeah, 10,000 shares, this thing's going to really whip around. Let's see what we got here. 50 million share float. Okay, well, could be getting a squeeze then. We have almost 13% short interest over 5 days to cover. So
is this possible. KOPN? Sorry,
No, this is TSVT that I'm talking about.
TSVT. I'm sorry.
No worries. I was curious about why we're seeing this move and just wanted to get some statistics on it.
Here's the thing I like. Let's get this back on here. Here's the thing I like on TSVT. I love this formation. This is a daily chart here that you're looking at. You get kind of just get regular trading activity up and down, really not doing anything crazy. This is really kind of holding around some of these EMAs. And we get this big volume pop that sets a new high. We come back in. We don't give everything back up. And now we start curling back up towards the high. I would say at some point, this is definitely going to test 625.
Thank you, QN, for that. I'm gonna take a
Mark.
further look at that after.
Mark, I'll take
Good job,
this.
Mark.
10% gain on IMBS. No losers all week. You did way better than I did. Thanks for your insight, guys. Mark, we are happy to provide insight anytime you show up. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Boy, you earned yourself a steak. You earned yourself a really great weekend. Great job there, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And have a great weekend and come back on Monday. We'll see you then.
We'll be back on Monday.
All right. So Mark's still going up, which is weird. TSVT 556.
Apple at its intraday highs here today.
I saw that we got. Sorry about interrupting.
Yeah, you're good.
We're looking at Apple earlier, and I think it did get a touch of its 200-day SMA, which was a level we had a lot of people in happy hour looking at.
Yeah, let me flip to that. I actually have that handy here. Here is Apple daily, and here is what 13 is talking about. So the move below, we moved below that 200-day. Now we've actually traded back to it and above it. I got to think that this is probably a bullish thing. Let's see, the last time that we've done this, stock has continued to run here. Oh, well, let me take a look at some calls here. Let me take a look at some Apple calls. I, of course, own Apple as a long-term investment. I own it and don't trade it. But if I'm going to trade around my core position, maybe we'll look into some options for that. Guys, we were looking for some more option content, weren't you?
I sold out of my Apple after that first run that we had from beginning of the year to about July. I was selling because that was off of the AI craze. Not that that's over, but yeah, I sold on that first run up. And now it looks like we've double topped in Apple, so I'm anticipating Apple to come in. It's like we hit 180 today. What did we get down to? Our low was 179.25, and then we came back up. Yeah, I still don't feel good about Apple in the short term, maybe even medium term. Oh, did MCI drop? Sorry for interrupting.
No, you didn't interrupt anything. My office assistant is interrupting me, so.
Oh, looks like there's some reality coming to hit SMCI.
Okay. You need to go now.
Yeah, Marcus cut from the same cloth as Mullen.
Who said that?
The Crow.
Yeah. He's right, too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, are we getting some of those penny name or those small caps that we were talking about earlier?
GSVT continuing to rip. Smoke Tuna mentioning AAOI. This has been a big trader for us before. That moving up here as well.
INBS. I'm trying to see if this is going to get back up to the 520s. KOPN still trying to hold VWAP. My VWAP anyway. And RBO still hanging out there. It did have a nice bounce off the 65 EMA on the 5-minute. Got up to some other lower, shorter term EMAs and got rejected. Now we're back down testing the 65 EMA again. Might go through if we don't get buyers to step in.
Someone was asking about Amazon earlier. I'm seeing some Amazon calls roll in here. See if that ends up driving it at all. They're not huge. NVIDIA calls, Meta calls. Meta's still ripping. Maybe it's exhausted here.
SINT. Oh, wow. I haven't heard that one in a long time.
No, but that was good. That's a penny stock now. 16 cents.
I wonder how many offerings this one's had.
And how many more it still has yet to do.
Well, it's got quite a big number of splits. Wow, including a 100-to-1 reverse split back in 22. Yeah, it looks like INBS is really starting to try to push up. A little concerned, though. It seems like these things are really heavy.
Now, remember, the last formation that we looked at like this broke to the downside, so it'll be interesting to see if this one breaks to the upside.
Yeah, it's a lot of sell orders up there.
QN saying that the Apple's ticker is AAPL, by the way. The new VR will slow iPhone sales due to cannibalism. I'm not sure about that. And this is why I'll say that. I think that the people that have to be on the leading edge of technology, they're going to buy the headset anyway. The headset is expensive. And I think that that's where the cannibalization comment comes from. But the reality is, I don't think that you're going to get a proliferation of these headsets or more people that want to purchase them until the price comes in. And at that point, I also am willing to bet that Apple has some type of deal that allows you to package the two of these for even bigger savings, so on and so forth. So I'm not sure about that. I just think that the VR headset ramp is a little bit longer than we all think. And I think that this might be the future, but that's going to be in the future, right? Only it's super expensive. It's like $3,500 for the headset.
Smoke Tuna mentioning AS. This is Amer Sports, if that's how it's pronounced. This looks like an IPO from yesterday. I don't see anything beyond yesterday. So
yeah, and this is.
I don't know what this one's about, what it does, but it is absolutely ripping right now, and it probably will start coming in here in a minute.
Jay, I love this idea. SPHR. Let me actually pull this up here. SPHR. Keep an eye on this one. A bunch of call buying yesterday. Could be a Swifty Super Bowl play. Is this the Sphere in Vegas? Is that what this is? I think it is.
I didn't know that they had a stock.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. That's what it looks like.
That is exactly what this looks like. But she's not performing, right? She's got some Tokyo performance, and she's flying in her private jet back to Vegas for the Super Bowl. She's not performing at the Sphere.
That would be amazing. I mean, I don't really listen to her music at all, but I think that would be amazing if she just kind of took the stage during halftime and said, "Okay, Usher."
Let me tell you something. Usher is going to be pissed if that happens. Okay, Usher is going to be none too pleased if Taylor Swift just kind of walks out there and hijacks the Super Bowl halftime show.
Kind of pulls a Kanye, right?
Oh man.
Well, Digital World Acquisition had a nice pop above 41.
Where were those call buys, Jay? What expiry were those in? They might have been in the February monthly contract, right? Because that would encompass the event. How about a week after? No, volume really dried up there. I think that was that volume that you were talking about. That was in the February contract, wasn't that, Jay? Confirm that for me.
Oh, AS has Wilson. Okay, well, that's good to know. It's probably the most, for me, it's one of the most recognizable brands in sports equipment.
Wilson, yeah. I mean, especially since I saw Castaway and really liked it. You know, one of the things, speaking of Wilson, is I've been watching some videos on like some of the new golf stuff. And Wilson equipment and Wilson golf balls have really been improved. And players, especially people that review these products on YouTube, are actually surprised at the strides that some of the Wilson equipment is making. So that, I know that's anecdotal. There's not really a whole lot of data behind that, but I'm definitely seeing that here recently. Taylor is doing the Eras tour and Randy is doing the Hairless tour. Lynn got all of the jokes here this morning.
Are there tickets to those two?
Pretty good. Are there tickets to those two? Take that. Take that.
Oh, man. Oh, Mark had a poll, but it found support at VWAP. Just looking for some setups here. I mean, I'm not sure about today. I just don't have a great feeling. You know, like we're just seeing, man, Meta is up 20%.
You know, when you say that, so what do you mean? You don't have a great feeling, like you think something changes? Because I'm looking at the market here. We're higher than we were yesterday. It's not gangbusters or anything.
Yeah. You know, it just how long does a blow off top like this actually last? Things feels like they're getting up here pretty slow. It just feels like this market is pretty top heavy and tired.
Yeah. It's
It's a
felt that
feeling.
way for a long time. See, that's my issue that I'm struggling with, is that I felt like this is toppy and due for a reversion to the mean for a while. And I actually played it in some cases and it ended up not working. So all right, let me see here. Boom, there
Best
we
just
go.
let the things I have, just let them ride. And if we start to get that big market drop, then I'll be like, okay, well, time to find the exit. But man, I just really don't know how high we're going to go, and it just feels like we're really having a hard time pushing higher. I mean, despite all the big moves that we just had from earnings this week, we're still down from Tuesday. We have not broke the Tuesday high.
And I mean, that might still be on deck.
We did in pre-market, but
not in the regular session. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is INBS starting to come back here? It might. It might.
I'm going to a Limp Bizkit concert this summer. I used to listen to Limp Bizkit when I was in high school.
Yep.
Really wanted the West Borland black eye contacts for like a Halloween costume. Never did that.
Looks like KOPN is trying to push up again. Starting to get some movement there. Yeah, I just got to be careful right now. I just don't have a good feeling about the way things are going. Man, look at AS. That just absolutely ran to 415. I'm sorry, 451. Read that a little bit backwards.
CRDO, that did have a big pull. We took a look at that as it moved through the view app here. That actually continued to run a little bit. Mattel on my relative volume scanner.
Yeah, I wonder if Mattel's going to have a bit of a run into the Oscars, since their Barbie product got several nominations. I don't want to get into that, by the way.
What, the Barbie or the Oscars?
Either.
Okay, we'll pass on that then.
I'm just mentioning a catalyst. That's it. Nothing else to see here. INBS still trying to hold above 5 at least. Anybody seen anything else? I'm just looking at a few right now. I mean, KOPN and INBS are really the only ones that have any interest to me right now. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now might be a time for our special guest then.
Sure.
Can I get a thumbs up or a thumbs down on if we're good to go? I don't know if the special guest can hear me in the back there. So, oh, yep, I got a thumbs up and a nod. Okay, so folks, I was teasing a very special announcement for the show here. And so let's just go ahead and do that. You guys have been asking for more and more option content in here. I do what I can to try and trade some of those and bring it to you. But I figured what better way than bringing in an actual options expert to the show. So without further ado, I would like to bring on a friend of Benzinga and professional options trader, Anne-Marie Band. Anne-Marie, how are you doing today?
I am really well. We had a butterfly on in Amazon, and we got in at 54 cents for the entire butterfly and just left the call side of that butterfly at $7.30. So super happy about that. I do think it's going to fade a little bit, so we'll let the short side do a little bit of expiring on its own. And super excited about that. Called 170 as the number to hit. And, that's about a 600% return for us on the butterfly. Really happy to be here and talk some options with you guys today. Some really great content. You guys have been hitting it out of the park this morning.
I really appreciate that. One of the things that's so fun about this is that every day is a new day, and we're going to see something different, and that makes it fun. That makes it fun. That makes it spontaneous. We really enjoy that. Now, awesome trade on Amazon. Let me ask you, Anne-Marie, when you set these trades up, do you trade earnings a lot? Is this like a common thing for you?
Yes, we do. I love the earnings season. Sometimes it works for us, sometimes it doesn't, but nothing works all the time. We know that. But the earnings season gives us spaces that allow for tremendous catalysts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we sort of work with that in order to push things forward. So to be completely transparent, we worked the same sort of trade with Apple, but it didn't work out as well. And the very interesting thing is that when they don't work out, we have very small losses because we are playing these butterflies. So
was your Amazon butterfly a 165, 170, 175? Question here from the chat.
No, we had the 160, 170, 180 butterfly that we took. And we also said, hey, if we're going to trade on the upside for right at the earnings, but then we're going to trade for future motion in March. And that motion in March we put on, and that's the 165, 175, 185 expiring in March. But we had one in February that we put out in late December when it was super cheap, or maybe it was right at the beginning of January. We go out about 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. So the butterfly is very cheap, and we just sit back and wait for the chart to do something, because usually with these heavy hitters, when the implied volatility is spiked, we get what we're looking for, right? And today's implied volatility in Amazon for options today are way up at 76. So 76%, which is a nice space for us to look for things.
Okay, awesome. So, like I was saying before I brought you on here, one of the things that the chat has really kind of been clamoring for here is some more options trading. And options are not my specialty. I do dabble in them. I am in them. I am in some now, but I'm really excited to kind of bring you on and talk about some more potential options trading. So first question I have is, do you see anything else out on the horizon right now that gets you interested?
Well, I heard someone say, hey, listen, what about Amazon? And both of you said the same thing, I believe. Listen, they've got a lot of updraft. The question is, does the market have the same kind of updraft to take it? And so I see the opportunity for another butterfly potentially in Amazon as it moves into the future. And so we can look at that if you like. We can look at the couple of things that we can put on the radar that says, hey, I believe Amazon's in upside. Can I negotiate myself a position that is cheap that will move into these upper levels that I expect over time?
Okay. So how would you set up one for the future here? What kind of what levels would you look at here for Amazon?
So my thought, first of all, I'd go out into May.
Okay.
And I would look at the 170, 180, 190. And so that will give you an even amount of risk on both sides. Now, a butterfly traditionally is a neutral position because it staggers us on the top and on the bottom. So what we pay, if it's a balanced butterfly, is the max that we can lose. It's almost like buying a straight call, only much cheaper. So if we went out into May and we said, hey, I want to buy the 170 calls because I think Amazon's going to move up, that's currently $12. And so that's $1,200 if we're going into that trade. And we could have a lot of wigglies that happen in the meantime. So my thought is, hey, listen, the peak Amazon price is 188. I don't suspect that the market is going to be able to breach that level. And it's really because a lot of people have moved away from prime because they're very annoyed with all there was a recent article in the Wall Street Journal. It said they've lost a lot of members because they're adding ads to that stream, and they're saying to themselves, seriously, I came here for no ads. Now I've got ads and I got to pay more. And so a number of people pulling their belt loops a little tighter, saying, you know what, I'm not going to do it. So my thought is we wiggle around this area. So I like the 170 zone, but I don't think it's going to move past 190. And so that butterfly says, hey, I'm going to buy one of the 170s. I'm going to sell two of the 180s, and I'm going to buy one of the 190s. That makes for a balanced butterfly. It gives us $10 of upside spread between 170 and 180, but it's only going to cost us about $1.45. So $145 exposure for $10 of a total spread. So that's, $8.55 potential upside. And so what we want to do is when we take this position, we want to put an alert for tell me when Amazon hits the 180 number. When it hits the 180, you have two choices. You can go, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to take the butterfly off. It's going to give you about 150% return, maybe 200% return. If, however, you say, I want to trade the edge of that, like we just did in our butterfly, where we bought it for 50 something cents and we sold it for 7.25. And that is, of course, in your Benzinga Pro platform. And it is a part of Benzinga Pro. So that's great to know. You can see that I've got the closing trade alert right there. It says, hey, let's cover that. And then, we'll look at the rest later. My thought today is that we have trouble at the 170. And since we've closed it, the price action is fading. So we're right on track. If this 170 expires worthless by February the 14th, we'll collect the entire 650% return, thereabouts. If it doesn't, it'll eat into that profit a little bit, and we get to decide when we're going to cover. So we're in the catbird seat right now, and you'll do the same thing for the May position that I just talked about. When it gets to 180, you go, you know what? I'm out of here. Or you say, I'm going to sell the 170 to 180 when it gets to 180. I'm going to take that profit, and then I'm going to let the rest erode because time decay will also be in our favor.
Okay, so it sounds like what you're doing here is you're really putting yourself in P1, right? The catbird seat. You're putting yourself in position one and you're making the trade work for you. That is awesome. That is exactly part of the process approach. That was one of the things that we focus on here. So absolutely love it. Thank you for the reminder. Folks, if you have not checked out Anne-Marie's room in Benzinga Pro, I would advise that you either go do that right now. If you don't have Benzinga Pro, start a trial. It's free and there's no credit card. But get in there, and Anne-Marie is giving you trades, giving you explanations and breakdowns on different things. Anne-Marie, what do you say we turn this into an official segment and we keep bringing you back so that people can keep talking about options with you? How about that?
I'd love that. I'd love it. Yeah, okay. Absolutely.
So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to make a little segment of this show that is going to be revolving around options. I know that a lot of people have been asking about options content. We'll do the best we can to kind of walk through these trades and come up with some new trading ideas here. So I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I've mentioned it a number of times on the show. We talked about a week ago. I put a Humana butterfly on because the thesis was just so strong. I was like, it would be silly of me not to do this. But going forward, let's keep bringing you back. Let's keep doing another segment here. We can look at some of these option trades, kind of structure them the right way, and we'll even take some questions here. If you want, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I said love it.
Yeah. So I want to kind of raise the awareness here for options. I can't think of anyone better than our friend Anne-Marie here. So really, really excited about that. We will do that. I think Friday.
What are you guys looking at? What are you guys looking at right now? That might.
So 13, you got, I know that you were kind of looking around while I was having the discussion here with Anne-Marie. You got anything on your radar?
I'm just waiting for setups right now. Some of the things that we were trading this morning, like INBS and KOPN, they're just coming back to some of these EMAs that I have on my screen here. One of the other ones that I noticed was running RUM. We talked about that one earlier, how that one's tied to DWAC. That one got hit pretty hard this morning, and now it's just absolutely ripping. TSVT, that one is looking like it's setting up. If it can hold VWAP, that might get a better price than 564 that it had about 15 minutes ago. Nexi, another one that we've been trading a whole lot, is just absolutely ripping right now, and it's making new highs as we speak.
So Anne-Marie, some of the things that we have, oh my God, Nexi, really, this was a halt fest earlier. I suspect that this might start dealing with some halts again. Anne-Marie, one of the things that we do is we kind of take a look at the regular market. I know we had a lot of really big earnings yesterday, so we talked a lot about where Meta would go, Amazon, Apple, things like that. But once the market actually opens, both of us and the chat as well, are often using scanners to just see if there's anything that's moving around there. So you just heard us list a bunch of really kind of maybe crummy small cap stocks there by comparison to some of these other companies here. Our chat here, they're always looking to capture movement. Again, we talk about using a process approach to be able to kind of trade some of these high flyers. We have people in here that are just absolutely hitting it out of the park. So this morning has been really kind of great. There's been movers in some of the big names and movers in some of the small names. There's a little something for everybody today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tend to stay in the bigger numbers and the bigger caps simply because the option chains are much more liquid for those space. If you're thinking about options, one of the things that I would like to share with you is very important is open interest and volume. Make sure that you are playing in a pool where someone will take the other side of your trade. Because in times past, I have had beautiful trades that work out very nicely, but nobody wants to buy them when I'm trying to sell them. And so that is very, very important. If you're thinking about putting on a call or putting on a put and the volume is very low, remember, that's just like you and a few folks in a kiddie pool. And there's not going to be a ton of volume for you to get out of your trade when you're looking at profits. The next important thing is to make sure the bid and the ask are close to each other. So here's what I mean. The bid is, I want to buy that. I'll put a bid out to take that position. So you're out to buy. The ask is, I'm asking if you will sell it to me for this particular price. And so bid is buy, ask is sell. And if there's a big gap in between the bid and the ask, you could have price action do absolutely nothing and you will lose if you buy and then try to sell it. Now, the bigger your open interest, the bigger your volume, the smaller that bid ask gets. And the reason the bid ask is in there is because there is someone in between us, the buyer and the seller, who's called the market maker, and they are the ones that collect the difference because they actually put it on a book of business to facilitate your move. So they get paid for taking the risk of the other side of your trade. So that's just something to really watch for.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much. And all right, so do me a favor, chat. Give me some likes here for Anne-Marie joining us. Coming in with her free time, joining us here. I can't wait. I'm I'll be honest, I really want to be able to kind of expand my trading. And I think maybe thinking, I don't, when I look at something that's moving, my first thought is never options. It's always what kind of stock or what kind of trade can I set up using stock? You know, you mentioned a couple of things in there that I harp on almost every single day. I talk about a lot of, even on some of these smaller kind of junkier names, if the spread is too wide, I don't trade it. Right. It's just, and we're not even talking about options at that point. It's just, if the spread sometimes is just not conducive to my trade. And then the other thing that you mentioned about the liquidity, I'm a big stickler on that. My settings on all my scanners here have liquidity thresholds because if I'm going to take a trade and that trade works out, I got to be able to sell it for a gain. And if the trade doesn't work out, I have to be able to hit my max pain loss and get out of that and not expose myself to any more. So great to hear you saying a lot of the same things that we've been saying. On the program here. So, you know,
it's true for both stocks and options. Liquidity is very, very key.
Yeah.
Very key.
Yep. And I think that's actually one of the reasons why when we trade options, I'm also just going to stick to those bigger names. There have been a couple of times where I've tried to play some options for like a longer term swing on some of the smaller cap names. And even if the stock starts moving in the right direction, you actually can't even get out of those contracts. I mean, you talk about maybe letting them convert into stock, but what I'm trying to do is flip the premium on them, right? So I got to be able to make sure that there's enough volume on there to get out. So really, really excited about that.
Absolutely. You know, I came to the option space because I love the leverage, and leverage is a two-edged sword. Indeed. Right? It's great if it works in your favor, and it's not great if it doesn't work in your favor. And so because we always focus on risk first, what we're going to end up doing is taking positions. Even if they don't work, they're going to give us the opportunity to get out with just a scrape instead of a hatchet to the chest. And so that's really my goal.
Okay. Well, we will keep doing that. I will have some more details for everybody next week. I know next week I'm actually taking some vacation time, so we'll look to start this up maybe the following week. We'll go ahead and put a schedule together, and we can kind of do this in chunks, right? We can talk about different setups that we see, maybe different options trades that we want to take. And if there's downtime, we can kind of just do some options education. I think a lot of people could benefit from that. So really looking forward to that. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. This is going to be really exciting. It's going to be really exciting.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So Anne-Marie, if you can have a great weekend. I'm not sure what you have planned. We will absolutely be in contact. Really looking forward to it.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
Thank you, Anne-Marie. You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, folks. So you heard it there. We are bringing on an options expert, and it will be a regular occurrence. So like I said, I'm going to hammer out some more of the details with Anne-Marie and the rest of the team here. And when we get all that stuff set up, we'll let you know. But you can look forward to options education and options trading coming to live trading on a regular basis. I can't wait. And I'll be honest with you, while we were talking about that, Joe, I went ahead and I'm bidding that butterfly for May for Amazon because I'm in the same way. I want to see how it goes. I'm not filled yet. Hopefully I do get filled here today, but really, really excited for that. It is absolutely nice to have options.
You want to, she has a good point about how, some of these names that we're trading, they really don't fit her style. And I absolutely, get that. So I was thinking, well, maybe if we start talking about some of these larger names, that'd be something that she's more interested in. I could tell you one of the things that I just recently started a position in for a long term hold is MGA. This is an auto parts manufacturer out of Canada. And the reason I like this one, well, other than they pay a dividend, it's right up there in my my type of stock. This is also a play on how EVs are out of favor right now, and there's not going to be as much new car buying, but they're still going to have to fix cars regardless. I still think that there's a play in that space for auto parts. I think this is the one I want to take, and they have it's a much better company than some of these other auto parts companies out there. So this is the one I'm going with. That's the angle.
Okay, this is actually the chart looks really interesting to me here. I mean, to me, it sure looks like we've really kind of come off the bottom. You have a very, very clear trade plan here. If this doesn't work out, maybe this can trade back up here. And I'm with you on your thesis on that too.
Yeah, and this is one of those ones that has been down since its peak in 2021. So I like to get companies that have a good balance sheet, that are strong for a long hold. When they're down as much as this, then there's a lot more upside. So that's what I tend to get into these for. I want to get into their weakness so I can sell into their strength.
Absolutely. Add on weakness and then hope for that move up.
Yep. Looks like AS that was mentioned earlier. That one's looking like it's going to try to break the intraday high of 1451.
This thing has been strong all day too.
Yeah. AZO and O'Reilly. So those are retailers. They're not the same thing. But I think that those are great companies too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can appreciate that. This chart looks awesome. Like let's just face it. Like definitely wish I was in this. This chart looks absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I think both those companies are great. I actually buy from both of them, O'Reilly and AutoZone. But yeah, as you pointed out, their charts have absolutely ripped, and I don't want to get in on that. I think I missed the boat if on that one, so I don't want to get into those.
I'll tell you what, just kind of looking at this with your EMAs that you use, 13. It looks like daily chart here. Anytime O'Reilly is going to pull back to its 200 EMA, there is some pretty good entry there. This thing seems to bounce and move off of it. So there you go. All right. We've had a big day already. Just wanted to thank everyone for being here. Then thanks, Anne-Marie, for joining us. That's awesome. We do have all access starting today in just under about 10 minutes. So stick around for that. That's already set. We got the RAS report coming up. Tech tune-up with Paul Meeks is coming up a little bit later. So we've had a really kind of a strong day here, busy day early, and it is going to continue. So who's excited to see Finzu in a little bit?
Bring it on.
Right. We still have a couple more minutes here for our trades, though. So here's Trug. So did this ever move? So look, really, really happy with myself to not get overly excited about something just because it's in my wheelhouse. There was really no entry here on Trug, and I had just been sitting with some, a dead weight in a trade if I had actually traded this. Glad I was able to avoid. CCTG, this is actually a pretty decent formation. This might take out 550 and keep moving up there. This definitely a candidate to have on your watch list for later. This might be one of those later day moves.
Yeah, I mean, it's right up to the 65 EMA on the 5-minute, and it's got consolidation supply area that it's trying to push through right now from pre-market. Pre-market, we had a high of 663.
And it could really, really get that juice flowing if we take out some of those pre-market highs and keep moving up.
All right, looks like INBS is done.
Let's take a look here. Glad we traded it for a gain already, huh?
Yeah.
Huh? That is that breakdown from the View app. I'm with you. We actually saw that yesterday. One of the tickers that we were looking at yesterday, we saw the exact same thing.
So there's that.
Jane, the after hours show is called the Happy Hour. Is that the one, the Benzinga Pro show? You need to be a pro member for that. The link pops up. Let me actually show you right here. I'll turn my little info bar back on. The link for that on a daily basis shows up right down here in this little bar. So if you've disabled, let me actually get Jane's comment out of here. If you disable this bar, you won't see it. Once you sign up once, however, you will be emailed every time that there's a new show. Now, Happy Hour, we're going to have one more on Monday, but with the vacation next week, that'll be the only Happy Hour on Monday. We will return to regular programming the following week. I did get a question yesterday. Why don't you do happy hour on Friday? And I'm going to borrow 13's answer here is because the happy hour on Friday is best done from your local watering hole, not from your computer in your office. So just keep that in mind. There is no Zoom call happy hour on Friday.
There's that
You're
break in
welcome.
AS.
And
Take
then
care, Judge.
Here's AS. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just 1451. That was the previous high, and I was like, well, it's looking like it's trying to take that out. Sure enough, it blasted right through it, and we're just heading higher. Wasn't in that one,
Judge. Wisdom says, someone says happy hour. Let's do it now. Well, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So go get it, Wisdom. Go get it.
Yeah, and INBS, they're the one that has very low flow. So this is going to be one of those that just really moves around pretty quickly, including to the downside. Okay. Wow. Nexi popped up to 1965, and then it just came right in.
What do you think? Nexi probably the most volatile mover of the week here, 13?
Well, QN had a good little spiel of text there about their special meeting. So apparently the company's looking to be dissolved. I guess I need to read more into that. I just look at this as a trading vehicle and nothing more.
Yeah, me too. And that's, we've made that point quite a bit here. A lot of these things looking at like trading vehicles. And NYCB, first time I've seen this here on the relative volume scanner here today. Maybe this is bouncing again. I didn't see Richard trading this here this morning, but this was and we did actually get a bounce. We got a bounce the last couple of days. Maybe we get another one here, NYCB.
Yeah, I think Crow's right.
Ryan, if you drink straight out of the wine bottle, does it make you a wino? You know what I think it makes you is it makes you an inexperienced wine drinker. You want to aerate that wine. There are better ways to do it than taking pulls off of a wine bottle. We are not in college anymore where you hold up the Franzia bag and you slap it a few times. That is not what we're doing anymore.
No.
Your wisdom. So stick to something a little bit higher class.
As adults, we drink out of the decanter.
Exactly right. I like to decant my wine and then aerate my wine
as
it
breathe
goes into my glass,
and then hit it.
Boy, we're really gonna move.
We're really full of it, is what we are.
Yeah. Look, this is what happens on Fridays. We've got a couple of green trades early. We got a lot of stuff going on throughout the day. We're already thinking about having a little glass of wine at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, the only thing that's good about box wine is that it's easy to store. Just kind of has all the same shapes as the other boxes.
Drinking out of the bottle is green because you don't have to wash a glass. We're reaching new levels now. That is for sure.
Are we just gonna start a new thing called green drinking?
I mean, would you really be that surprised? I wouldn't. So
just give it some time. TikTok will pick it up.
So real quickly here, just kind of getting back to reality here, right? I don't need to be thinking about alcohol this early in the morning. Getting back to the actual trade here on Amazon. So I am out on the bid. I am trying to buy that butterfly here, the one that she talked about for May, the one that expires in May. Looking to grab the 170, 180, 190 butterfly. I'm on the bid, have not been filled. We'll see if we get it here. Amazon does look like it's curling back up. I actually wouldn't be surprised if this moves up a little bit more, but it's going to need some volume to do that.
What is going on with AS? Is it okay?
With what? AS?
Yeah, I was like, is this halted? It wasn't doing anything for some period of time, and I just was kind of wondering.
I do not see it as halted. I see this as still open here.
Yeah, it's not.
I see prints. So
I'm just surprised it hasn't really moved in a little bit. Kind of just hanging out up here.
All right. It is just about 10:55. We are due for Finzu here shortly. We're going to go ahead and start all access pretty soon here. Let me go ahead and see.
Oh,
Finzu.
hello.
How you doing?
There he is.
You were
Good.
giving me a thumbs up, right?
I know. I didn't know if you saw it or not, but yes.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say I'm not blind, right? I saw that I got.
You haven't started drinking yet, so no.
No, and look. When you make an error earlier in the week, it becomes priority numero uno that you do not make any more errors going forward that week. And so I'm glad I didn't just screw that up. Zune,
Those are
what do we
nice.
got to look forward to here?
Well, you've got MAIA Biotech. We've got Vlad, who's going to talk to us, the chairman, the founder, the CEO. And they had some news that came out recently, so we'll discuss that. But before we get to that, I saw you had Anne-Marie. That's a lovely surprise that you were teasing yesterday, and you came through. I like that.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
And,
well done.
And Zunaid, I just want to, throw this out there. We are going to be creating a segment here where we talk about maybe some new options trades and things like that. And you know what? If you just kind of want to drop in, you're welcome to do that anytime, my man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we teased this to the viewers. What was it, yesterday or something like that? We've got some things cooking up. I know you're cooking up a lot of things as well.
Sir.
So it'll be fun. I would say post Valentine's, there'll be some nice, lovely changes that we'll see. So I'm excited.
We move fast. All right, 13. Any closing words here for the week? You did a great job this week. Lots of really great trades. What do you got for us?
I just want everybody to have a good weekend. Take those gains, run with them, enjoy them, and take care of yourselves. We'll be back at this on Monday. We'll have some trading then.
Absolutely. 13. Really, really appreciate it, my man. Again, excellent job here this week. We will be back next week. Zunaid, I'm going to head out of here too, get through the rest of my day. Good luck on the All Access here, and enjoy your weekend.
Will do. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care, 13 and Ryan, and welcome, chat. Something that we always love to do is talk to executives from publicly traded companies. We've had some great conversations this whole week, and we'll continue doing just that as we've got the CEO, the chairman, Vlad, for MAIA Biotechnologies. Ticker on the NYSE is MAIA. All Access starts right now. Vlad, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Oh, looks like you might be on mute unless my headphones aren't working. That's all right. You can go ahead and see if it works on your end. I don't think I can still hear you. Let me do this. If we'd like, AT, we could go to the green room. Give us 1 second here while we... Here, try one more time, Vlad. Let me make sure it's not a me problem. All right, let me go ahead and do this. Let me share some charts here. Let me go ahead and pull up my chart so we can talk a little shop. Let's see. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, I am going to take this out. It's just going to be you and I hanging out for a minute, chat, and we'll go ahead and throw up our charts. Obviously, you had Meta that kind of ran away with it with the earnings. As you can see, a beautiful pop. That's actually what helped yesterday. The the S&P futures and the NASDAQ futures as well have a nice little drive. You took a dip when the numbers came out at 8:30, and then now you're kind of rallying back. So that's been a nice little play. Something that I wanted to point out in terms of, one trade that I took earlier was Tesla. And that was right here. So you can see I was thinking about shorting it right around here. Give me a thumbs up. Okay, we're good. Awesome. We'll get there. We'll get to All Access here in 30 seconds. But I was hoping to short it around here because you had resistance and you had the trend line. But instead, you can see on the hourly, I had the trend line drawn here. So when we broke above right here on the 15-minute, then I went and I shorted it here, got a couple of bucks to the downside, and then we kind of moved our way back down. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then we're going to go ahead and do that. There we go. And then let me go ahead and bring up my notes. Awesome. I'll tell you what, let's play the intro again because, tradition. Are you good with that, AT? Sounds like a plan. Awesome. We've got the CEO and chairman, Vlad, hanging out with us for MAIA Biotechnology. The ticker on the NYSE is MAIA. All Access starts right now. Good morning, Vlad.
Good morning, Zunaid.
How are you? Appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Absolutely. And, I know we've got some things to dive into, but before we do that, I'd love for you to give us a bit of a background on you and how your company was founded and what is it that y'all do?
Yes. So a bit of background on me. I am a physician by my first training, businessman by my second training, and have spent my entire career in oncology, in pharma and biotech. About 25 years now, 50-50 on the medical and commercial side. I had the privilege to work for some extraordinary oncology companies launching drugs that were paradigm shifts in their day. But in 2018, decided to found MAIA Biotechnology as a company to discover and develop and ultimately commercialize novel mechanism of action drugs. And this happened with the licensing of the drug we now call THIO, THIO, from University of Texas in 2018. So now we're going on the 6th year here with MAIA. We went public in 2022 and are now traded on New York Stock Exchange.
Yeah, you mentioned THIO, which is the next question I wanted to go to, especially as it's a proprietary drug that I believe is currently in the clinical development stage of it. Can you walk us behind the science on how that works?
Yes. So THIO is the first of its kind. It's the world's first telomere targeting agent, also with an extraordinary immunogenic capability. So the way it works, first we need to understand the biology of the telomeres in cancer for a little bit. You have, imagine the chromosome, typically represented as an X, that contains our DNA, our genetic information. And at the end of the chromosome arms are the telomeres, our target. The telomeres are also DNA sequences, but much shorter and with a very specific function to protect the chromosome in the cell division cycle. They are built and maintained by an enzyme called telomerase, which is present in all normal cells in the first year of life. At about age 1, telomerase goes away. And at that point, the telomeres reach their maximum length. And from then on, each cell division cycle, they lose a little until in the old age, they become critically short, can no longer protect the chromosome, and the mutations begin to appear, diseases of the old age, including cancer. Now, in cancer cells, something extraordinary happens. The enzyme telomerase is turned back on. So the cancer cells regain their ability to elongate their telomeres and reach a state of replicative immortality, meaning they continue to divide and the tumor grows in the aging body. That is exactly where THIO comes in. THIO is picked up by telomerase. It's put in the structure of the telomere. It creates a faulty, unstable structure. The telomere collapses, the DNA unwinds, and the cancer cell dies. This process is fast and efficient. It happens in 24 to 72 hours, and THIO directly kills 70 to 90% of the cancer cells. Then follows its immunogenic effect. Of the telomeric fragments, THIO forms micronuclei, small incomplete nuclei that carry these fragments and present them to the immune cells, triggering an immune response that is so effective. If you follow THIO with an immune therapy, a checkpoint inhibitor, you see complete response, no recurrence, and anti-tumor immune memory. What we want. We have seen this type of cure in multiple preclinical models, in lung, in colorectal, in liver, in brain, with THIO followed by different checkpoint inhibitors, Libtayo of Regeneron, but also Keytruda of Merck, Tecentriq of Genentech. And the first go-to-market is with Libtayo of Regeneron.
Now, you mentioned stats that you had brought up. I believe it was about 70 to 90% of the cancer cells are killed. Now, is that what you've identified to be true with the THIO 101 clinical trial?
Those stats are from a preclinical setting. What we've seen in the clinic in the THIO 101 trial is even more extraordinary. We have seen there are several metrics of success in a clinical trial. And the first metric that shows is called disease control. Disease control is measured in the first scan. So this is after 6 weeks, 2 cycles of treatment after 6 weeks. And disease control is very closely associated with overall survival advantage down the line. The type of disease control we have seen, these are very heavily pretreated cancer patients and very advanced disease. In second line of therapy, we have reported at ESMO 100% disease control. This is not going to be always 100 because from one there is only one way to go. We think it's going to end up in the 90s. So that compares to the standard of care in second line, which is chemotherapy, 50 to 60%. It's far, far greater. In third line of therapy, even more striking the difference. We have 80% and third line chemo is 30%, more than double. In fact, even in first line, when you look at the market leader results, Keytruda, the best-selling drug of all time in non-small cell lung cancer, their disease control is in the 70 to 80% range in first line of therapy, treatment-naive patients, and we are better than that in third line. The trial,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The trial is continuing, and we're seeing these patients living through their benchmarks and confirming. Yes.
Now we've got about 3 to 4 minutes here, so I want to talk about what else is kind of in the pipeline that you're able to tell us, especially with the other, immuno-oncology therapies for difficult to treat cancers. Any brief overview on how you're looking to address the pipelines that's in there right now?
Yes, so we have two types of pipeline. One, it's the pipeline for Thio. We have trials planned for Thio to take it to market in non-small cell lung cancer. But we also are planning trials in liver cancer, in colorectal, and in brain cancer. Some of these trials are going to be company-sponsored. Others are investigator-sponsored. We have quite a number of investigators interested in sponsoring this from all over the world. And in terms of the next generation of telomere targeting agents, we developed 84 new molecules in-house. They all work. Same mechanism of action, telomere targeting with immunogenic effect. And 7 of them have proven to be an order of magnitude superior to the original in certain tumor types in preclinical setting. We are moving them forward in development. 2 of them are on their way to IND. We hope to get them to the clinic in the next 12 months or so. A third one is ready to start, and we have 4 more in reserve. We will build a franchise.
And speaking of building, I know you have Thio that's received 3 orphan drug designations. Can you quickly give us a brief overview of that?
Yes, that is a huge endorsement from the US FDA. Out of 3 applications, we got 3 orphan drug designations. This is truly extraordinary. One in liver cancer, another one in lung cancer, small cell lung cancer, the deadliest form of lung cancer, and the other one, just most recent, in glioblastoma, the most prevalent form of brain cancer.
Yeah.
These are difficult to treat, and Thio can do very well. So an orphan drug designation like this means that the FDA have reviewed the data, they endorse it, they give us the orphan drug designation. That ensures 7 years of marketing exclusivity and certain lower fees for development. So the net of it is it's about $2.9 million in savings as well per indication.
And then, as you go ahead and develop these drugs and as you go through the clinical trials, last question for me, is there anything that potential investors, the viewers and investors already in MAIA Biotechnologies that they can look forward to for 2024 and beyond? What can they expect?
Yes, so 2024 is a big year. We're going to start our final part of Thio 101 to take Thio to market. We hope it will be commercial by 2026. So we are about 2 years prior to commercial. We are looking also to expand our partnerships. We are in deep dive due diligence with 3 major pharmaceutical companies as we speak. And we anticipate a co-development or ex-US licensing type of deal to happen in some point in the course of this year, probably in Q2, based on how discussions are going.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to having you back on for those conversations when you publicly release that information. But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you as well, Zunaid. Good to be here, and thank you.
Absolutely. You take care. And thank you, chat, for hanging out with us as well. That was the CEO and chairman, Vlad, of MAIA Biotechnology. Ticker on the NYSE is MAIA. And for those of you that are still hanging out with us, we've got the Raz report coming out with a very interesting guest that I was a great, obviously get to get a sneak peek and watch a few minutes beforehand. So make sure you stick around for that. And then at 2 p.m. Eastern, we've got a tech tune-up, a brand new show, Tech Tune-Up with Paul Meeks, where we're going to go over market analysis and stock picks around the tech sector. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of great information, a different angle than what we typically provide. So excited to have Paul join the Benzinga TV team. But of course, as always, we appreciate you for watching. And don't go anywhere. Don't click anywhere. The Raz Report is coming up next.